Hello, boys and girls, mums and dads, and little fat wobbly grandmas. Hello there. My name is Neil Hurst, and my lovely friends at the Panto Archives have asked me if I'll do a Q&A with them. So yeah, I thought I'd be well up for that. I mean, first of all, I'm very, very flattered that anybody's got, any interest in anything I've got to say about the world of pantomime. And second of all, I'm instantly regretting this Christmas jumper. I thought I'd put the Christmas jumper on, because it's Panto, it's Christmas. But it's the middle of August and it's the hottest day of the year so far. And yeah, big regrets. Anyway, I have noticed on quite a lot of the other sort of Panto videos that have been going around, through the Q&A, they've got posters of themselves on the wall, in different pantomimes. And unfortunately, I've not got that. I've got a few musicals I've been in over the years, but I've not got many Panto things stuck up because, because first of all, my wife doesn't like me getting big-headed. But second of all, you remember the scene in, I'm sure you know this, the scene in Aladdin where Wishy-Washy goes through the mangle and he gets squashed and comes out. Well, I had at least 4 of those. I had 4 squashed Wishy-Washies, and I used to prop them up around the house, and I used to just put them there, and my wife would come in a room and she'd go, like that. So she doesn't like me doing that anymore. Anyway, but I do have this. This was given to me a couple of years ago when I finished a 10-year run at the Victoria Theatre in Halifax. And I thought it was quite nice because it's quite Panto themed, but also it's sort of a nice sort of warning to young professionals out there who want to get into pantomime and they want to do it. First thing is, the most important thing you must do is you must go to a theatre that is nowhere near a KFC. You see, the Victoria Theatre in Halifax is very close. It's within walking distance. And see, I started young, thin and handsome there. And as the years went on, a bit chubbier here, look at that. Quite chubby that one. Getting bigger and bigger there. Horizontal stripes, not a good look. And by the time I left in 2017, well, I was bald, hardly had any hair, and there was more of a veranda over the toy shop. But there you go. You can't have everything, can you? Anyway, so I've got some questions that have been sent to me by the Panto Archive. So it just so happens I've got a special celebrity friend who's from the world of pantomime, actually. He's going to ask me these questions. You've guessed it, it is the Genie of the Lamp. So, Genie, what is the first question?
Do you think that pantomime has had to change in recent years to ensure it doesn't offend anyone and is more politically correct?
Ooh, good question, that. Well, of course, it's really important to be more politically correct nowadays. It really, really is. Just because you don't want to offend people. It's Christmas. Everybody wants to enjoy the experience. They want to go and have a great evening at the theatre, or great afternoon, or great morning. Do you remember morning shows, 10:30? Oh, dear. But yes, so it's really important that we are as politically correct as we possibly can be, to a certain extent. I obviously think that we should, push the boundaries and say, oh, well, men can't play pantomime dames anymore because, well, I missed that. Having said that, I did see the wonderful, amazing Elaine C. Smith in Glasgow play the dame last year, and, well, she's a legend. I absolutely love her. She's brilliant. She could do no wrong, and she was brilliant. But it's the first female dame I've ever seen, and she was amazing. So who am I to say? But yeah, it's really important. We should make things more accessible, and people should be able to go to the theatre without being afraid of people being offended. It's really important. Mind you, having said that, a few years ago, we'd done the first show of one of these pantomimes. I can't remember exactly which one, and I'd not gone to KFC at that point. No, I'd gone to McDonald's, and my phone rang in my pocket, so I picked it up, and it was our director, the fabulous Mr. Rob Marsden, one of the best panto directors in the world. And he said, Neil, you need to get back to the theatre. We've had a complaint. And the complaint was about this joke. The complaint was, I said, my mum's not feeling very well. She's got hay fever and diabetes, but I've tried to cheer her up. The usual flowers, chocolates. And it got a little titter, but nothing to write home about. But anyway, we got a complaint because this woman and her whole family were diabetics, and they were really upset about that. So I felt a bit bad about that, really, actually. So we scrapped the joke, and it was gone forever. But you never know. Sometimes you've got to tread a little bit carefully because you don't want to upset people or offend people. It's Christmas. Anyway, moving on to the next question. I'm going to grab my magic lamp. Oh, Genie, what is the second question?
If you could appear in pantomime with any other celebrity, living or dead, who would it be?
well, that's a great question. Well, I've got to be honest with you. I've got to be honest. I'm going to be quite selfish here. I want to do it with my mates, if I'm honest. My friends. I noticed how you said any other celebrities. I think you need to set your sights a bit higher if you're considering me a celebrity. But anyway, yeah, look, there's loads of people I'd love to work with. But like I said, I just want to work with my mates, really. A couple of years ago, I did a musical called Fat Friends, and we toured the country with that. And I became really good pals with Kevin Kennedy. Do you remember him? He played Curly in Coronation Street. So I'd love to do Panto with Kevin, because just great mates. And I do a podcast with Jodie Prenger and Natalie Anderson, who are also in that show as well. So it'd be nice to sort of, keep working with them too, because they're my mates as well. But I mean, God, crikey, there's loads of other people I'd love to work with. And actually just loving to sit in the wings and just learn from. I was very, very fortunate to spend about 4 or 5 years working closely with Billy Pearce. Not in pantomime, but in summer seasons. We did like North Pier and Grand in Blackpool and stuff. And I learned so much just standing in the wings watching Billy. And I'd love to experience that in a pantomime situation. So who knows? One day, you're watching Billy. Gives a gig. But yeah, I mean, there's loads of great people I'd love to have worked with who aren't with us anymore. Morecambe and Wise, Les Dawson, of course. And do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to work with Elaine C. Smith, who I've just mentioned, with her playing the dame, because she was one of the best dames I've ever seen. Anyway, moving on to the next question. Genie of the Lamp, what is the next question, please?
Prior to the dreadful outbreak of COVID-19, did you have any plans already in place for a 2020-2021 Panto? And how has this affected you?
Well, yeah, sad times, isn't it, unfortunately? Well, I was supposed to be going back to the Hull New Theatre this Christmas for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, for Kudos. I did Aladdin there with them last year and had a great time. Kudos were a fabulous company to work for, as were Imagine, who I did these pantos with here. I've been very, very lucky. I've worked with some great companies over the years. But unfortunately, no, that ain't going ahead this year, which is really, really sad, unfortunately. How has it affected me, this lockdown? Well, it's been nice to be at home with my kids and my wife. That's been lovely, and spend time being a dad. That's been really nice. And I've been able to do a few little TV jobs. I've done a couple of adverts, filmed that during lockdown. I'm in the Yorkshire Tea advert. I nod at Sean Bean. You've probably seen it. That one. Do it for Yorkshire. And what else have I done? I've done Coronation Street, so yeah, I'm going to be in Coronation Street in a few weeks' time. So I've been working on the TV side of things, but in regards to theatre, nothing really. I was doing a musical at Oldham Coliseum, and we did a couple of weeks rehearsals, and then unfortunately that was pulled. But it's been rescheduled to next Easter. We'll be doing that. It's The Jungle Book, a brand new musical of The Jungle Book. It's wonderful, it really is, and I'm playing Baloo, obviously. Anyway, moving on to the next question. Here we go.
Did you watch pantomime as a child? What's your earliest memory of it?
You see, now, I've got to be honest with you, I never really went to pantomime as a child. I didn't, I know. Bad parents, must have been, I don't know. They're not really, if they're watching this. I love you both, Mum and Dad. Anyway, the first panto I did ever go to, that I remember being very, very young, and I won a colouring competition in the local paper, and I went to the local YMCA theatre to watch Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I remember being terrified at the Three Bears. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? You're just a little kid. I was absolutely terrified by them. And then I sort of have memories of going to the theatre. See, I was born in Rochdale, but I was brought up in Halifax. So I actually used to go to watch shows at the Victoria Theatre, where I ended up doing pantomime when I was a child. So I saw lots of different shows there, but unfortunately I never really sat and watched a pantomime when I was growing up. My first real experience of pantomime that I can really sort of grab hold of and go, oh, that's the moment I thought this is something I want to do, was the Jim Davidson adult pantomimes on VHS. you remember those? Cinderella, Boobs in the Wood. Remember that one? Well, I've got to be honest with you, even now, to this day, if somebody says to me, you know, how do you do pantomime? I always say, go watch those videos. Go and watch them. Obviously, you can't use them kind of jokes on stage in pantomime. Trust me. Trust me, I've been in bother when I've almost tried and, you know, I shouldn't have done. And then, you know, they're politically incorrect nowadays, but it's not. That's not what you're watching. You are watching a masterclass in how to deliver those pantomime lines, how the timing and everything. And I still to this very day will watch them Jim Davidson's blue pantomimes before I do a pantomime room to get in that rhythm and the way that they do it. It's an absolute masterclass. And if anybody has not seen it, go and watch it. Don't listen to the blue language. Well, you can if you want, you know, we're all grown-ups. But just watch the way they deliver the pantomime and their pace and their enthusiasm. It's a masterclass. I absolutely guarantee it. Anyway, moving on again. I've got another question. Here we go. Rub my magic lamp.
Have you ever worked with anyone in pantomime who you did not enjoy performing with? Maybe a diva, or someone just doing it for the money and hating every second?
Wow. That's a question and a half, isn't it? All right then, well, talking about somebody who's just doing it for the money. I'm only joking, I love it really. Yeah, so, well, I once worked with this guy. He was an absolute, well, put it this way, I'm never ever going to work again with, oh, sorry, I think my battery died on my phone then. Anyway, yeah, and of course, not only was there him, I mean, I'll never forget working with, yes, something not right with this phone, I'm sure. But yeah, they were a right diva as well. Anyway, but I tell you what, I did once work. This is a true story. This is a brilliant story. I used to do pantomime. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say who with or who for. But some people watching this may know if they've worked with me. It was for about 3 or 4 Christmases on the trot. I did pantomime with this particular actor, and halfway through the run, it was his birthday. And we all went out, we celebrated his birthday, we all paid his bill for him, you know, and he got presents and stuff. It was dead lovely. And it was great, it was lovely. Then a few years after that, this thing called Facebook appeared. Yes, I'm that old. And Facebook came around, and I remember seeing it was his birthday in the middle of June. So I queried this with him. I said, wait a minute. I've just said happy birthday to you on Facebook in June, but we always celebrate your birthday at Christmas. And he said, I know, dear. I know. You see, I'm always working at Christmas. I'm never working in June, so I celebrate my birthday at Christmas. Because he just wanted free food. Brilliant. What a legend. I love that. And that was... Oh, seriously, something not working right with my phone at the minute. Anyway, those are the pantomime Panto Archive Q&A questions, and I hope you've enjoyed them. First of all, thank you in there, Jeannie.
You're welcome.
Oh, incidentally, I am available for children's parties and all voiceover work, including bar mitzvahs, weddings and funerals.
Yes, all right. Anyway, thank you to the Panto Archives. Thank you to you for enduring this, and whatever you're doing this Christmas, it won't be the same without pantomime. You're going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. I really, really am. And I'll know a lot of my friends, a lot of performers up and down the country will be really missing performing for all you people out there. So thank you very much. Thank you for keeping the pantomime spirit alive as well. And we'll see you next year, because we'll have to do it again then, won't we? Woo!